And so for a lot of folks, that's one of the most important aspects of this journey and one of the things that happens basically immediately. I want to talk a little bit about the benefits of 5-MeO because I think there's a lot of hype around psychedelics in general, but there's also a lot of real beauty there. And so let's talk about the benefits in terms of short-term and longer-term. And when you think about any psychedelic experience, there can be some acute awakenings or acute moments of like having aha moments or feeling like a clearing of trauma and just feeling like a reset has happened. And so with 5-MeO, that's certainly the case. There can often be this really dramatic physical shift in how it feels to be in your body. And for a lot of people, it's actually a reconnection with that feeling, with the ability to feel their breath, or sometimes be able to notice, oh, interesting, now when I eat, I notice that I'm full. Things like that, which sound insignificant, but when we're connected into our body, we suddenly feel our life in a way that's much more tangible. We feel a lot more connected to the present moment. We feel more connected to others. And so it's a really beautiful component of 5-MeO. And so for a lot of folks, that's one of the most important aspects of this journey and one of the things that happens basically immediately in the experience. Another thing that can happen for folks is, and part of this reconnection with our body is the fact that we're able to clear trauma, right? We're able to clear out things that have happened to us in the past or just tension and stress that we've been holding. We're able to shake that up, and it's like we flush the system, which makes our body a much safer space and a much more accessible place to come into. So for a lot of folks, it's like they've been working for a decade or longer in therapy, working through some traumas that they've had in their life, and they understand it intellectually, but they still can feel the pain of that, or they still know that they're still reactive in certain situations, or it just hasn't cleared. And 5-MeO is often this opportunity to just fully clear that, or at least begin the process of clearing that. So that's some of the immediate benefits of 5-MeO. A bigger part of, I think, what the experience is about is the long-term benefits. And this is where the practice of integration comes into play and where people see the more dramatic impacts into their life. A lot of what happens with 5-MeO is actually happening after the fact. A lot of times people come out of the experience and they might feel a little bit lighter, they may feel really clear, but they don't necessarily have a clear connection to what happened in the ceremony. Those are the kind of questions that start to arise after the session and that take a real effort and a real intention around daily practice, daily reflection, perhaps therapy or coaching, journaling support, breath work, and other sort of somatic practices, all these types of things that help us really continue to reveal the meaning of the ceremony and reveal the depth of the transition that's possible. So I think it's just really important to understand that this is not a magic pill, and there can be some aspects of the experience that is acute and very, very direct and really beautiful. But for most folks, the greater impact of this experience is what happens afterwards. The process of 5-MeO is really one that I would say in some ways begins the moment you leave our retreat. I think that's why having a proper container for the experience is super important, and also really thinking through what is your integration strategy and understanding that when you sign up for 5-MeO, what you're signing up for is a process.